Hey everyone, Donna Nelson. Welcome to episode 34 of Rooted in Wisdom, a daily dose of Donna. Today, I'm sharing with you some wisdom on what you need to unlearn to be more true to your authentic self. So, this is something that is near and dear to my heart because authenticity was a big part of my own personal journey and discovering what was really true and authentic for me, and then how to have the courage to actually bring that out and be that. So, I was just having this conversation with someone earlier today about how do we get to that essence of ourselves to even know who we are anymore, right? Because we get so caught up often in these roles and these rules of life and trying to live up to the expectation of others so that we can be accepted or feel this sense of belonging or have this approval. And in the process of that, when we're not aligned, we lose our sense of self. And so, how do we come back to that? So, that's what I'm going to share with you in a very short live stream tonight. So, if we've never met, I'm Donna Nelson. I'm a holistic empowerment coach, and I work with purpose driven leaders and organizations that want to thrive doing the work from the inside out. And so, whether you want to personally up your game in business, have better relationships, make more money, have more abundance in all areas of your life, personally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally, have more spiritual connection, it takes a foundation rooted in science and soul. My mission is to help all of my clients that I work with to get to this sense of wholeness. And part of that is getting to knowing ourselves and coming from our place of authenticity, from our true nature, not even authenticity, because that happens as a result of coming from our own true nature. So, in the title, what do we need to unlearn to be more authentic and get to our true nature? And it really comes down to often is yes, what is that unlearning that we need to do? What is that learning that has been taught to us, embedded in us over time, over our lifetime, really, for most of us, right? So it's what we learned um, through subliminal processing from birth or pre-birth to age 7 or maybe a little older, right? You know, those messages of learning of about who we are as a person from our parents and our community and those that we spent time with, or those things that impressed us because you could have been just put in front of the TV. And that was what your learning was about how people are, where you fit in the world, and all of that, how you should act. Right. If you grew up with Mr. Rogers, you have a different way of being and how you think people should treat each other or how you should be as a human versus if you watched The Simpsons. So, just as a comparison. So, what goes in our brain definitely comes out in our behavior, our perception of ourselves, how we treat ourselves, how we treat others. But so that I feel like I've gotten off of the whole point of what I wanted to say. But nonetheless, that's important. So with this unlearning, what are the aspects of ourselves that don't feel right for us? What are the aspects of yourself that you feel like you're pushing or you're pulling to get some sense of connection or to get rooted or to have that sense of belonging or to, grasping at what you think is yours, right? It could be something in your business, in your company, right? Maybe you're grasping, trying to get to that next level, or you feel like you should have that next promotion or that open position or partnership, um, or, something else in your life, right? It could be something around your health, a belief system maybe that you have around your health or some sense of yourself. And so often, so we need to identify what are those things about ourselves that we feel like where we're pushing or where we're pulling, or we're just not feeling good about how life is in whatever area that is. And when that shows up, that's the message of the universe saying there's something you need to unlearn, right? There's something you're pushing in yourself that isn't aligning with you. So, what do we need to kind of unearth there to get to who you truly are? And by asking yourself those questions, right, by just pausing and noticing what's going on during those times is an opportunity to look within and ask yourself, well, why am I doing this? Why is this so important? Or um, why am I trying to fit into this group or be part of this or move to that next level when I feel like I'm pushing even to get it or to be accepted or to get approval? Um, and often these are things that we've learned have been conditioned either through having things given to us or having things taken away from us and having a certain expectation or a belief system about that particular area, about ourselves really. So so examining ourselves in those moments when we're feeling like life isn't working or this doesn't feel good to me in whatever that area is, taking the pause, asking ourselves, what is the learning here? What is the unlearning? What are those aspects about myself that I need to undo to get more aligned with my true nature so I can be more authentic and more accepting of myself for who I am, regardless of acceptance or approval or the next level or whatever those things are. So I was as I was talking about this earlier today, I was saying that the pivotal time for me that really created the biggest shift for me to just say, fuck it, I'm going to be myself and I don't really care who else it's not okay with. And I'm going to beat to my drum more than I ever did, even though I thought I already had done that. And there's always some pivotal thing in our life that puts enough pressure on us that forces change. And that pressure that forces change is the change that needs to happen anyway, that you didn't have the self-awareness, or maybe you just didn't want to do the work, right? Maybe it was more comfortable coming back to that baseline of mediocrity or getting by or things are okay or good enough. That you didn't want to rock the internal boat, because when we rock the internal boat to change things within ourselves, the external is going to change. We're going to leave behind those people that are no longer in the energetic energy that we are, that are no longer aligned with our beliefs. They don't want to accept our newfound self, which is really our old found self, right? They like you the way that you were. Why? Because you hung out with them, you talk like them, you act like them, you settled like them. And that's uncomfortable for them. So the situation though that put that pressure on me was when my son Lucas died, because it was such a big enough and a significant enough event for me to say different things mattered in life. The Having a loss or having enough pressure, which is going to be loss, right? When we have something that puts enough pressure on us, causes us enough pain um, to cry, Uncle, okay, I give up. I'll change. I'll do it. Um, there are things that we needed to do anyway. So this is the unlearning, right? The undoing of accepting things, of being treated the way that we never wanted to be treated, that wasn't right for us. Participating in things that never felt good, but we felt obligated. That's the unlearning. The stop doing those things, right? Setting boundaries with people and with yourself on the things that you're going to accept and not accept, or tolerate and not tolerate. That's the unlearning. And the more we get aligned with our authentic self, the unlearning of those things becomes easy because we just don't have the desire as much anymore. And we catch ourselves, our consciousness and our inner self awareness triggers us to remind us, I don't even like that, or I don't want to do that, or I'm just going to say no to that, or I'm going to go for that because I deserve that. Um, Whatever that is, right? So, after Lucas passed away, I decided it was just a decision that things that I thought mattered didn't matter anymore. But the thing that mattered most to me was to be more true and authentic to myself. And that's when I really got more aligned in my coaching business and knowing how I wanted to serve and more comfortably able to speak my truth and speak in a way that was comfortable to me and not so accommodating to other people. So if it's uncomfortable for you, maybe that I drop the F bomb or that I curse or that I'm just like, no bullshit, I don't really care. Like, listening here is optional. So I'm not for everybody, and neither are you. And that's the point. Don't try to be for everybody. Don't try to accommodate everybody. Don't worry about everyone else's comfort. And I used to be that person. I used to worry about, not worry, but just I'll be the one that's always going to be the give, right? If you're uncomfortable, I'll adapt. If you don't like that, I'll adapt. And I am a very adaptive person. I am very flexible. But what I'm not flexible about anymore is being authentic. So I'm going to be myself. So I've realized though, and what I want you to realize is that you being your authentic self is you unlearning those things that have caused you to compromise yourself. And you're going to shed that negative energy and those people and those places and those past experiences from yourself so that you can feel more whole and feel more joyful inside, knowing that you're feeling good about you regardless of those other things. And not everybody's going to like that. And that's okay. That's my wisdom for today. So, what do you need to unlearn? What are those things that show up for you that don't feel comfortable? What are those things that you do that you don't like about yourself? That's the unlearning. Those are the things to evaluate and decide. Have a conversation with yourself about, why do I do this? What am I seeking here? Like, what am I really wanting to get out of this? And what's the big outcome? And if I wasn't attached to this, what would feel different for me? What would it allow me to do? How would it allow me to be if I wasn't attached to this outcome or this person or this situation or um, this financial situation, whatever relationship, any of those things, this health outcome? What if you weren't attached to it? So, all right. See you guys tomorrow.